All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. I hope my voice is coming good and clear. Please invite your friends and uh, share the link of the video with your friends wherever you are, so more people will come and join us. Today we have a debate between me uh, and Mr. and Dr. Rohi. Dr. Rohi, he have a PhD in Islam from Islamic University, one of the highest Islamic university. And obviously it's going to be a very hot debate. So please invite your friends, and we are waiting for him to call us, and we will be right on air with you. Just to let you know, I have no questions to ask to Mr. Rohi. Actually, I was thinking to ask him to ask me what to ask him, which means I will ask him, what do you like me to ask you, to make it simple and easy. I mean, how easier I can make it more than this? So be my witness. I'm going to ask him, what do you like me to ask you? I cannot make it more simple than this. All right. Please invite your friends. Let us bring more people here. We are waiting for him. He's online already, so which is a good news, because that's mean we will not, uh, you know, he's not like late or something. So it's confirmed that he is online, which is very good. By the way, for those who do not know, my books, my two books, new books, which is Six and Allah, is already in Amazon. So for those who care to have copies of it, please go and get your copies. It's two volumes, volume number 1 and volume number 2. Now for sure you will not get one volume without the other, because they complete each other. But it makes sense more that you buy first number 1, or you buy both in the same time. So this is how the cover look like in the front of your eyes. Now this book is not about insulting anyone. It's just revealing a lot of things you never heard of. And actually I don't speak about it online, because we might get banned in YouTube if we say it. So the book is available in Amazon. Get your copies, and and leave your comment. Leave an honest comment. Don't do what the Muslims do. Muslims, they support a Muslim just because he's a Muslim. We don't do that. If you think the book is a treasure of information, say it is. If you think it is so, say so. If you think it's not even worth the money, then please say that. We want an honest review, not people making up stories and lies. All right. So I'm sure you will like it, and I'm sure a lot of Muslims will buy the book too, because there's a lot of hiding things. Muslims, they don't speak about it, and even though they don't dare. The same as yesterday. If you remember, yesterday we have a Muslim. He was trying to convince us that the hadith which mentioned that Allah's hand is weak. Do you remember? I mean, what's wrong with this religion? Everything is it in weak. I mean, we read from their books, yet their books is weak. And the only way to get away from something, they say to us, it's weak. Actually, our guest today, last week, 2 weeks ago, yeah, something like that, last week, we mentioned to him a hadith. He said it's weak right away, automatically, but the fact is not weak, But what the Muslims, they do to get away from a trouble, they think by saying it is weak, they can get away from it, but it doesn't matter really. Like yesterday, the guy, he said to us, Allah, he put his foot in the fire, but he is not in the fire. He's above, my friend, but his foot is in the fire, but he have a foot. And why Allah he call his foot if it's not a foot? My friend, Allah foot is not like your foot. Who care, my friend? Maybe Allah have 6 toes and 7 noses. I don't care. But when Allah he say he have a foot, it's a foot. This is why he did not call it a nose, because obviously it does what foot does. He call it a hand because it does what hand does. Anyway, let us see if he is already there. I think he is texting me. All right, sound good. Guys, invite your friends. I'm going to call him. Yeah, let us see. He is online. I asked him if he is ready to call him. All right, he said inshallah. So let us start. And be my witness, guys. I'm not going to ask him a question. I will ask him to tell me what the question he like to hear. Hello?
Do you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Rohi, how are you?
الحمد لله كيف حالك يا
I'm
عزيز؟
fine, I'm fine. Thank you. We are thankful for the Lord that we have you back. And today we hope that all of us, Christians, Muslims, Buddhas, Hindus, atheists, they will get the benefit of this meeting. I hope you have
آمين.
I hope you did eat and you are good to go.
Yes, الحمد لله.
All right. You know, my friend Rohi, some people they are asking me because we don't have your full name. They said, "Who is Sheikh Rohi?" Even one of them, he said, "Sheikh Rohi is not even a Muslim. He is claiming that you are not a Muslim." So, what do you say to those Muslims who they are saying that you are not a Muslim?
What? I am not a Muslim?
One of them, honest to God, he
So
called
what
me.
I am?
It's recorded there. You know, you can check it out. He called me and he said that you are like you are hired by me. You know, I paid you money to come and you are acting as a Muslim, but you are not. That's what he said. You believe it?
It is a big lie.
Yeah. So, you know,
It is a
what
big
do you want to
lie.
say to those who, before we start, for those who they are saying you are not a Muslim, as I heard, you know, that's you have a PhD, right? Hello?
Cut in voice.
Yeah,
Hello, I hear you.
yeah. I was introducing to them. I told them that Sheikh Rohi he have a PhD in you know, and he is a sheikh and he is a very well known person in Paltalk. But if you like to introduce yourself before we start, go ahead, please.
Cut in voice. I
Sheikh,
don't
do you hear
hear
me?
you.
Do you like to introduce
If
yourself
I
before?
am
Yeah,
the...
Sheikh, do you hear me? Do you hear
Yes.
me? Okay.
Yes, I hear
Do you
you.
like to introduce yourself before we start? For those Muslims who would like to know you better.
Yes.
Well, go ahead, please.
I am a doctor from Azhar. I يعني can tell you about myself.
Maybe they want to know your full
And
name if you don't mind. So Dr. Rohi is a doctor from Al-Azhar University. You just heard him saying that, confirming that. What is your field, Dr. Rohi? In what you graduate with what from Azhar University?
in Sharia.
In Sharia. So he is
In Sharia.
a person who
Islamic
have a
Sharia.
PhD in Sharia law. That's wonderful. All right. Do you like to say your full name, Dr. Rohi, or you don't want to mention? It's up to you.
No, later, my friend.
No problem. Dr. Rohi, I'm not going to ask you any question. You are our guest. So I'm going to ask you, what do you like me to ask you? Give me the question you like me to ask you, and I will give it to you back.
What? I don't
What
understand.
do you like me to ask you? I'm not going to ask you a question of my choice. What is your favorite question you like to be asked? Like something you can really explain very well because you know everything about it.
First, thank you a lot for it.
Sheikh, let me call you back because the voice is cutting for some reason. Let me give you a call back. Hold on, maybe that will fix. Let me call you back in a second. All right, Sheikh.
Yes, I will restart
Okay.
now.
All right. Because
Because it is
somehow
cutting
it's
voice.
cutting. Do you have many programs
One,
running in the in the background of your computer? Maybe there's many
okay,
because you're in Egypt.
1 minute,
Yeah,
1 minute, my friend.
no problem. Take your time. All right. So as you heard, guys, he confirmed that he is a PhD person from Al-Azhar University. For those who do not know, the Azhar University is the highest university in the world to teach about Islam. Me, myself, I did not get my degree from the Azhar University. I got it from different school, have nothing to do with this university. However, My experience with people who graduate from Islamic University, you learn nothing. And today we are going to prove it. All right? Tell him to close the window. Okay. Please invite your friends. We have only 215 people. Like, come on. If a girl, she is doing unboxing for her t-shirt, she will get 500. Go on YouTube and you will find a girl, she is doing unboxing for what? For lipstick. She have 5,000 people watching live. I mean, come on. All right, let us call him back. He's back on air. All right, Sheikh.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you, Sheikh.
Hello?
I hear you, my friend.
How the voice now?
It is
Still
good.
cutting?
It is good. Go ahead. It's good.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. We are listening.
Oh, okay. First, thank you a lot for your polite. May Allah bless you. Truly, I am glad to meet you and discuss with you. But يعني also for those who follow us and don't speak English, I suggest that you ask your question in Arabic, then you ask your question in English, and I'll answer you in Arabic, then I'll answer you in English, because a lot of people ask me to do that. If this is possible.
Is it possible? You are in your room in Paltalk, right? You have a room in Paltalk open. Is that what's happening or what?
Now,
no.
Now it is closed, my room.
Oh, okay. Because if we wanna say the thing twice, maybe we can do other debate just in Arabic, me and you, for the same topic or anything else. Let us focus here in Arabic and English, because everybody listening now is English-speaking people. However, feel free to speak in Arabic if you have to, or to read something, or to quote something. No problem, and we translate. Is that all right?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, my friend.
Oh, all right. Okay. In the last debate, now we are talking about نسيان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Okay.
All right.
I said for me it is authenticated يعني authenticated hadith. Why? Because many of scholars not take every hadith who contradict with Quran, even if this hadith was in Bukhari. Not this hadith personally, but even every hadith contradict with the Quran. According to the other scholars whom take every hadith in Bukhari, even it was this hadith contradict with the Quran, they solved the contradiction by saying this verse was written in the Quran, and all companions were recite it. I mean, first that the Prophet heard the man read it at night.
Okay.
And in this moment, when this man read it in the night, this ayah was absent from him, from the Prophet Muhammad. Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has remembered it. It is case like when we see a dream at night, then in the morning we forget it, but we are remembering it immediately when we see this sign reminds us of it. So this verse was absent from him, but has not erased of his mind. So forgetting has here is because his mind is preoccupied with something else.
Mm.
Also, scholars said, according to prophets, forgetfulness after informing people is possible, but forgetting before informing people is impossible because when he informs people,
Yeah, put yourself and don't disturb so nobody bother you in Pal Talk.
okay. Uh, I said no, but forgetting before informing people is impossible because
Mm.
when he informs people, they recite it immediately and it will be written also immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you know when God revealed Quran to the Prophet, he was calling the writers to write it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So it is impossible to forget any verse of the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
So I say briefly, the scholars said that of the prophets, forgetfulness is possible with two conditions. The first condition, he forgets after he informs people, but
Mm-hmm.
forgetfulness before informing people don't happen by no means. The second condition, prophet's forgetfulness doesn't continue, but he must remember it either from himself or from others because God said, indeed, it is we who send down the Quran, and indeed we will be its guardian.
Mm-hmm.
The evidence was the man read the ayah or the verse which the prophet was forgetting it. Not only the man was recited, but all companions doing that beside all Quran was written.
All
It
right.
is my answer. يعني.
Okay. So, Sheikh Rohi, as this is your answer. I'm glad that you corrected yourself because last time you said that this hadith is weak, but the fact it's not, and you just agreed that this is not a
Yes,
weak hadith. Okay, this is a sahih hadith. Thank you for that. Now, here what you said that this is the forgetting happened after the prophet he gave the Quran to the people. Obviously, yes, because how the guy he will know about it if the prophet did not mention it, right? So obviously, it happened after the prophet he mentioned the Quran to others. But here we have a problem: is if Allah he said to me and you, and if Allah is God, He is the Almighty. If He say you will never forget, that's mean you will never forget. And it doesn't, he didn't say you will not forget temporarily or permanently. He said you will be giving Quran and you will not forget the Quran. And when God he says you will not, it's mean you will not. It's mean the word not is not option. It is a must. You will not forget. This is a promise of God. What is confirmed in this hadith, which you confirmed yourself that this is a true hadith, that the prophet he forgot verses and chapters, not only a verse or two or a sentence, verses and chapters. And here we need to ask ourselves, if God is almighty and he made a promise, is this God capable of keeping his promise? Number two, why Allah did not remind Muhammad instead of this guy? I mean, this guy is a man. He himself, he might forget something. He might add something. He might, add a word to the verse. So, your prophet now is taking the Quran from this man because totally he forgot it. It is the man who remind him about it, which means he have no idea that he said that before. When I say you remind me, your prophet, he did not say, "Oh, you remind me to do something. I forgot to go to the market," or you remind me to go and visit somebody. And this is not what he said. He forgot verses and words and chapters of God. Now, here is that because Allah did not keep his promise, or because Allah he promised him not to forget, but Allah in purpose caused him to forget because he want to test Muhammad in something. Maybe he want to test Muhammad if he is a person who is trustworthy. Because until now, and as you know, you Muslims, you believe that nothing happened except by the will of Allah, correct? It is Allah will.
Yes.
So if Allah will, if this is happened by the will of Allah, that's mean Allah is the one who made him forget. What is the
Yes.
purpose? What is the purpose of Allah? And Allah did not make him forget to eat. No, He did not make him forget to visit his cousin. No, He made him forget something extremely important in touch of the life of the believers and their future. Because as you know, based on the teaching of the Quran, you Muslims are saved because the Quran will guide you. So when the Prophet he forgot the Quran, why Allah he made the Prophet forget the Quran temporarily? What is the purpose of this forgetting? Because you believe that everything happened by the will of Allah. The mic is yours. Go ahead, my friend.
I said, my friend, I said, for to me, it is not authenticated hadith.
For you, it's not, but for the scholars, it is it? For the
yes.
scholars, it is. Okay.
Why? Because يعني, every hadith is contradict with Quran. I don't take it if they in Bukhari, but I answer you according to the scholars that take every hadith in Bukhari. As to me, it is not a true hadith.
Yeah, but this does not contradict the Quran, because the Quran says that Allah will cause the Quran to be forgotten. You forgot? You see, the Quran says in different chapter, and I mentioned that to you last time, in chapter 2, verse 106, it says, وَمَا نَنْسَخُ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا نَأْتِي بِخَيْرٍ مِنْهَا أَوْ مِثْلِهَا. So Allah in the Quran, He mentioned already that we will cause the Quran to be forgotten. So where is the contradiction? The contradiction is Quran contradicting Quran, not the Hadith contradicting the Quran, because the Quran confirmed that Allah will cause Quran to be forgotten. And if you remember, I asked you before about this verse. Allah will cause to be forgotten to who? You said the Prophet.
No.
Yes. So where is the contradiction here? The contradiction is not between the Hadith and the Quran. The contradiction is between the Quran and the Quran. Because I hope you will not say the Quran is weak, because the one verse in the Quran says we will give you Quran and you will not recite, will not forget, and the other verse in the Quran says we will give you Quran and you will make you forget. So which one is valid?
Yes. As the verse that said ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. We don't abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except that we bring forth one better than it or similar to it. Do you not know that Allah is over all competent? Another translation: for whatever sign we change or eliminate or cause to recede into oblivion, we bring forth a better sign or one or a better sign, one that is identical. Do you not know that God has power over all things? I said in this ayah, there are three famous views in abrogation. Abrogation, the recitation with keeping rule. Abrogation, the rule with keeping recitation. Abrogation, the rule with the recitation together. Do you understand me?
My friend,
Because,
in case you do not know, I have a degree in Islam too. I have a bachelor degree. So I know exactly what you are talking about, but this is not our topic. Our topic is not about abrogation, because the verses speak about abrogation and forgetting. So our topic is not abrogation. Leave the abrogation alone. Allah said we will cause you to forget the Quran. وَمَا نَنْسَخُ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا. We cause you to be forgotten. So our topic here about the forgetting part, not about the abrogation. So let us separate them. How Allah He says, I will cause you to forget in one verse. He is the one who is causing to forget. And the other verse saying, I will give you Quran and you will never forget. That is the contradiction. I'm not talking about the abrogation. Abrogation is a different story. Go ahead.
Yes. You see that the speech in this ayah is directed to the Prophet, because if the speech was directed to the Prophet, Allah must say, ما ننسخ من آية أو نجعلك تنساها, or cause you to be forget it. But the verse is not said that, but said ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها. We don't abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten. It is mean in this ayah, it is means that God erasing the old meaning of verses and confirming new meaning according to the evolution of the time, or evolution of the period, so the people will be forgetting the old meaning, then they are taking the new meaning that is suitable to them. This is meaning was taken from forgetfulness. Forgetfulness. Allah says, أو ننسها, or cause to be forgotten. The second meaning for يعني النسخ هنا, no abrogation, but prorogation. Prorogation. Do you understand me? Do you know the difference between abrogation and the difference between prorogation? There is a reverse meaning between two words. This meaning was taken from the recitation that saying ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسئها. ننسئها هناك ننسئها, because meaning of النسء is prorogation. So in Arabic we said, may God prorogation moment of your death. This is the meaning of abrogation. You said it is not as the old opinion or the old saying that نسخ التلاوة وبقاء الحكم, أو نسخ الحكم وبقاء التلاوة, ونسخ الحكم والتلاوة معا. I want to clear this thing. Do you know how this triple division came from? It came from human nature. In every mind of us, there is motivation to this triple division. For example, we said couple in the house or couple outside the house, or one of them is in the house and the other is outside the house. There is no fourth possibility. And as well, when we say abrogation, the recitation with keeping rule, abrogation, the rule with keeping recitation, rules abrogation with the recitation together. Then scholars researched in the Quran and bring us one example at least for every sort. It is so forgetfulness. Also, there is another meaning of forgetfulness in this ayah. That means there is two rules for one thing. Then Muslim will take the suitable rule according to the place that he lives in it, or according to the time that he lives in it. That meaning came from النسخ in Arabic. In Arabic we said نسخت الكتاب. It means that I copied one book from another book, or I wrote one book from another book. That's not mean that then the original book became conciliated, but means there is two copies ready to use according to our need. This is my opinion, and their scholars said in this ayah.
All right.
ننسها.
That's wonderful. You see, my friend, Arabic is your first language. Arabic is my first language, and there's a huge difference between nunsi and nasa'a. The word nasa coming from the word forgotten. This is why all your Muslim translation is saying forgotten, not to like a pre-post or like a repost later. This is not about something he would do later. However, if you go to book Al-Qurtubi, here you will find the problem, and your prophet was trying to solve it. I don't know if you have the book of Al-Qurtubi with you. You will see that the Jews, they accused your prophet that he is ordering the Muslims things he never even said. And your prophet, he confirmed that he is, yes, you know, he is ordering the Muslims. Nowhere in the Quran it says he's making rules. And your prophet, he is, all what he is saying, oh, Allah gave me rules, but he made me forget the Quran. But don't worry, he will make a Quran better than the rules, or let us say he will make Quran instead of the Quran which I forgot. Because the Jews, they are challenging him. Where is the verses you are saying you gave them to do this and this? You did not give them anything, so you are making up rules. I don't know if you have the Al-Qurtubi with you. If we go there, it says قوله تعالى ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها عطف على ننسخ وحذفت الياء, etc. This is for Arabic. And then he continues saying, and then they said إن محمدا يأمر أصحابه بشيء ثم ينهاهم عنه فما كان هذا القرآن إلا من جهته ولهذا يناقض بعضه بعضا. So Muhammad, to solve this problem, because they accuse him, that the Jews, they accuse him, and the Arab, they accuse him, that Muhammad is bringing things he did not even receive from his God. Where is bringing this? And he is contradicting himself. One day he says something, the other day he says something else. But where we can find that the Quran, where we can find the Quran saying what he just said? So Muhammad, he did not confirm, he did not say, oh, you are lying, it's not the case. No, he agreed with them. He agreed with them, and he said, Allah, he caused me to forget the Quran. However, Allah will bring me something better or similar. He did not say, oh, no, you know, like because it says here nunsiha caused to be forgotten, not we will delay it. This is not the word nasa'a, this is the word nunsi, unless the Quran is written wrongly. Same time, you can go right now to the book of Asbab al-Nuzul, and I'm sure you are aware of this book very well, and you will see more explanation about this. So your prophet was coming with the statements does not even fit with his Quran. And actually, you Muslims, one of the things about Muslims, that they accept what Muhammad said over what the Quran said. As an example, the Quran allowed the mut'ah. Muslim Sunni, they said, and you are a Muslim Sunni, believe that the mut'ah was abrogated by a hadith. If I am in the time of the prophet and I will say to him, how I can accept you abrogating something Allah allow? Who is the one is higher, the prophet or God? For sure you will say it is God who is higher. So how a prophet, he can sign a paper from his office deleting, abrogating what is signed by God himself? That does not make sense. So this is just an example about what was happening in the time of Muhammad. Muhammad, he says something have nothing to do with the Quran, and then when they accuse him that he is making things up, he said, oh, hold on, yes, Allah did not give me Quran, but don't worry, Allah, whatever he abrogate, because I'm abrogating as I wish, and whatever I did not even mention that this is abrogation because Allah caused me to forget. However, don't worry, be happy, Allah is going to give me something similar and better. And that is an act of a person who is not presenting God. This is somebody is fabricating things. Your mic, my friend.
It is not true story, and it is not true in that you said in Qurtubi, wrote in Qurtubi, and Asbab and Nuzul is always came to solve problem that explainer don't or can solve it. It is not true.
But my friend, hold on. I'm giving you time. But what do you mean not true? Are you saying I did not, Al-Qurtubi did not say that, or you are not agreeing with him?
No, Qurtubi says that.
Okay,
Say
okay.
that
Because I
what
thought you are accusing me of
is
lying or something. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
no, 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 no.
All right,
Al-Qurtubi, yes, you are true. You are right. يعني
all right.
read what this in Qurtubi, but it is not true because أسباب النزول is always came to solve يعني problem that the مفسرين don't solve it.
Okay.
now to see ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها. What so look what Allah said after this verse. Said, or do you want to ask your messenger as Musa was asked before? أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل.
Hmm.
After this ayah. Why? Because the wisdom of this kind of abrogation for facilitation to the Muslim in order not to fall him into the embarrassment as happened to Jews before. So ننسها in this ayah. What meaning of ننسها? Make people forget this ayah. Why? Because يعني we can now I take you example. I take you example to clear this problem. Now look at this verse. The hour has come near and the moon has split. What this means? It means when the moon is split by the human. How is the moon is split by the human? The moon is split by the human when the human reaching the moon by spaceship. It is like as the knife when it's split one watermelon into two parts and we see what in it. But you will be notice that the old meaning of this ayah is correct
Hmm.
according to the ancient time when the Prophet Muhammad said this ayah. So both meaning are true in this time because the Quran keeps pace with the times or goes with every time. Quran like universe, his discoveries don't stop until the day of resurrection. We can likening the Quran by river. You are see the river full of flowing water, but it not the same flowing water which was flowing out a few days ago, because he is not sitting down. The water not stay, but always change. The river always refresh itself by itself. In spite of this, it is the same river which was from the very beginning. So it is impossible for the interpreter to explain the Quran and then close the doors of interpretation. This what I want to say
All
in
right.
this ayah.
All right. Well, you know, what you said to me, Dr. Rohi, is very interesting because you are saying that those, you know, we cannot close the door of interpretation, but those who give interpretation, the more closer you are to the time of the prophet, the more accurate, because you were not there and you don't even know the background. So, and you just said, and I think everybody heard it clearly, you said that the book of Asbab al-Nuzul was made to solve problems, but isn't it all the interpretation in Islam is made to solve problems, because you Muslims are so confused about what the Quran is saying? And this is why which means the Quran is making problems, not solving problems. When you say to me, those books are made to solve problems, that means Quran is the problem, and it is so confusing to the point we need scholars to solve the problem. But then the scholars, they try to solve the problem, they make the problem more horrible. And now you are saying to me, oh, I don't agree with Al-Qurtubi, but you know that Al-Qurtubi is a big name in Islam. You don't agree with Ibn Kathir, but Ibn Kathir is a big name in Islam. You don't agree with that At-Tabari, you don't agree with etc. So what we do now in this generation, anything will look embarrassing, will look really bad, and the Prophet will look bad by those books. So what we will say, either we say it is weak, or we say, oh, you know, they are wrong, or we say, oh, we cannot close the door of interpretation. So now you have to recreate a new interpretation for something you yourself you are not sure of. Same time, you need to ask yourself, and you need to give us an answer. Why in the world the Muslims they will lie about this? I mean, the one who wrote the books of Asbab al-Nuzul, or Qurtubi, or At-Tabari, or Ibn Kathir, those are Muslims and they are scholars. This is not a Christian prince. This is not a guy who is an Arab Christian who said, oh, let us say make up stories. As you see here in front of me in the book of Asbab al-Nuzul, it says the idolaters, they say, don't you see that Muhammad command his companions with something and then forbid them with some same and command them to the exact opposite? I mean, isn't it obvious? I mean, why in the world you say something and then you command the opposite? As an example, the muta, it is a bad thing to practice. How in the world somebody he claimed that he is following the same God of Abraham and the same God of Moses, he allowed his men to go and rent women for sex, and then he changed his mind, and then he make a statement, but he did not give Quran, because even the verse you give, we are talking about, my friend, the one we are talking about in chapter 2, that Allah will cause Quran to be forgotten and he will give you something better or similar, which mean based on the Quran you cannot abrogate the Quran except by the Quran, because you are the one who just said to us none of our revelation, none, the word here is so clear, none, which mean not even one of the revelation of Allah, but is going to abrogated by who? By us, Allah. Do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten? But we substitute, not Muhammad. So the verse here confirm that all the belief of the Muslims that hadith can abrogate the Quran is false, and that mean any behavior is coming from your prophet about the abrogation or causing to be forgotten is just to cover a problem. As you said, Muhammad always, he, and excuse me, I'm not saying the word Muhammad to insult. You know, we Christian, we call Jesus Jesus. We don't say peace upon him. So this is not an insult. So here, Muhammad is creating a verse to cover a problem, which is he been accused that he is he's fabricating things. He did not even say it. His God never told him. Where do you get these rules from? Your God says something to you in the morning, afternoon you say something else. And you see, your prophet did not say this not true. He confirmed it. He said, yes, this is true. I say something in the morning and then I change my mind after. Why? Because Allah, none of what Allah revelation is abrogated or caused to be forgotten. So he add the word forgotten to cover other problem. Here he is covering two things. Number one, why he keep changing his mind. Number two, why he is forgetting what he said. Because he can just say none of our revelation is abrogated, but we give something better. But here you will notice that your prophet saying none of our revelation it is abrogated or caused to be forgotten. And this is not about delaying verses, because you know that your God he speak Arabic very well. Nunsiha have nothing to do with delaying verse. This is not an nasi'. And nasi' is something different about the delay. So this is about something he confirmed that he forgot. And this is why Muhammad, he come with something new. He said, okay, Allah, he gave me the Quran in 7 letters. And we will talk about that, you know, if you like. But the books which I am quoting for you, those are not Christian books, those are your scholars. And your scholar confirming, even though you don't agree with them, that your prophet he changed his mind. And this is what they accuse him about, and this is why he made this verse. And here I want to ask you, Sheikh Rohi, before I give you the mic back, how Allah will make something better? I mean, God is God. You know, I don't know if you heard of my books. You know, I have many books in Amazon. Imagine I'm saying, my book I'm going to take a book. I'm going to write better book than this. This is possible for a human being because he improved maybe his English, he improved his knowledge, he learned more. But we are talking about God. So how God is going to cause you to forget something and then he will do something better or similar? So what the point? Better, that's mean Allah will, he will make Quran better than the Quran. Similar, that's mean there's no point because you just said it's the same. So why you are deleting and why you are for causing us to forget something, you will make the same of it simply because Muhammad, he cannot repeat the same statement twice. So he's saying to them, Allah, yes, I forgot the Quran, but Allah will give me something better and similar. It's like in Arabic, you know, it says, okay, I lost. Okay, you know what? I lost. Yeah, I lost. But you know what? I promise you that tomorrow we will have a better house. Like my house is burned, my house is destroyed. But I promise you tomorrow our house will be better, and the worst scenario is going to be similar. So what kind of Quran this Quran is saying? You supposedly, it's not your prophet saying that, it is God, but obviously it is your prophet making up this verse saying Allah will give me something similar or better, because that is against the nature of God. God don't make something better than what God made already. God, he is perfect, and when you say that God will make something better than what God he made, that's mean this God is having an improvement in his life. He have an improvement of a quality. How Allah can make a better Quran than the Quran? Go ahead, my friend.
Thank you, dear. أسباب النزول not all أسباب النزول is true. Mistake of some interpreter make some يعني what now ننسيها أو when you say that God change his mind, no, it is what is suitable to the time or suitable to the place. So not our time is suitable to the ancient time. So it means that God erasing the old meaning of verse and confirm a new meaning according to the evolution to the time or evolution to the period. So the people will be forgetting the old meaning, then they taking the new meaning that is suitable to them in their time. Now, when you said mut'a and that God allow mut'a, then he forbid that. No, it is a big mistake. You are thinking that Islam is prescribed mut'a, while much was known before Islam. Before Islam, there was 15 sort of marriage. Example, البدل، زواج المضاهاة، زواج الشغار إلى آخره. It is يعني when Islam came, people left all those sort but remain one sort is mut'a. Then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbids mut'a, mut'a's marriage. يعني look at يعني المتعة, everything. When your first you said to me your first language is Arabic. If you return to the dictionary and read التمتع أو المتعة, what meaning of متعة? Everything you pick up for your rest, like as food, home, furniture. It is in the dictionary. So the meaning of التمتع is not relish, but it is you pick up for your rest like food, home, furniture. This is what some people don't understand what the mut'a. But all mufassirin as-sunnah all interpreter on Sunnah forbid and not said this is first talking about mut'ah. So not a problem in this.
You're done.
Okay, yes.
All right, my friend. You see, the purpose of the muta is about enjoying their body. What do you mean? Like, you know Arabic, I know Arabic. Yes, I enjoy going to the beach, I enjoy eating food, I enjoy hearing music, but this is not what the verse is about. So this is a different story. We are talking about enjoying it is their private part, and you have to pay for it. For what? For enjoying their private part. And this is not a marriage, my friend, because marriage have to be about making a family. This is the purpose of it, is not making a family. And you know the story very well. You are a person who have a PhD from Azhar University. That two guys, they approach your prophet and they said to him, well, we are here and we are like, we need women. So the prophet, he says, go. And he point his fingers at a bunch of women and he said, go and enjoy them. He did not go and say go and marry them. He said go and enjoy them. And then the two guys, they went there and they asked those girls to sleep with them in return of offering them clothing and money. So this is an exchange of service, have nothing to do with marriage. And you know that the muta is a preset date. One of the conditions, the major condition of the muta is which is a sexual pleasure, that you have to say how much you will pay. You have to mention for how long, and then the other person, which is the female in this case, she agree with you about the period and the time and the money. And when both of you reach that agreement, she is lawful for you. So if a man and the woman, they agree to sleep together for one night stand, let us say from 10 to 10, 24 hours. When the 10 in 10 the hour became 10 in the second day, this marriage, or what you call it marriage, is not exist no more. There's no need for divorce. So how we can call it marriage? This is not marriage. This is a contract of sexual activities, hiring women for the sake of enjoying their body. And not only that, according to the muta rules, and you have a PhD in Islam, a woman who is marrying this man, she inherit nothing of him. She cannot inherit him because she is just a muta. Actually, there is many books they say that this is istijar, this is rent. It's renting women. So what do you mean when you say to me that the Arab before Islam, they used to do that? Actually, by the way, I have a book, is just published in Amazon, speaking about the whole topic about that issue, not necessarily the muta, all the sexuality in Islam. What do you mean when you say that the Arab used to do muta and Allah allow it at that time? I mean, okay, was Musa allowing muta? Was Jesus allowing muta? Who is the word when I allow muta, and how Allah agree with the kuffar? Because this is not right, and you know that, and I am sure you will not allow any of your family to practice it. And as long it was okay for Allah at that time, what happened? I mean, why at that time it was okay, later it became not okay? I know you will tell me, oh, the prophet, he came in step by step, but this doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, adultery is no, is not step by step. Killing is no. Lying is no. There's no step by step. God don't compromise. We are talking about God Almighty. We are not talking about a guy going to the bazaar trying to get some goods in the better price. And here when we mention that Allah, he said something better, can you tell me what is better than the muta? Allah never give muta better. Allah never send a verse to abrogate the muta. So how you Muslims abrogate the muta when Allah never abrogate the muta? It was your prophet who made that verse after actually he allowed him to do muta. And this is one of the things about your prophet, how he allowed the muta before the verse, because this verse came after he told those two guys go and practice the muta. So imagine here that, as you said, and I like what you said Al-Qurtubi and At-Tabari and Asbab al-Nuzul, those books, they came to solve a problem. Thank you very much. Well, the prophet is doing the same exactly. He says something and then people, they start questioning what he is doing. So right away after that, you're a prophet, he bring a verse to solve the problem because people, they don't agree. As an example, your prophet, he took an oath in front of his wives not to do something. The Muslim scholars in disagreement about what it is exactly. Some they say it's about having sex with the married the couple. Some they say about something else. Doesn't matter what it is. He made an oath right away. Muhammad, he received, after he made the oath, he received a solution for the problem. He received a verse from his God saying, why you are making an oath, forbidding to yourself what is lawful to you. So obviously you're a prophet. He come with something always to solve a problem. If you remember, my friend, if you remember, Aisha, she said, and I'm sure you respect Aisha very much. You Muslim Sunni, you respect her. Aisha, when your prophet, he said, any Muslim woman, she give herself to the prophet, and this is just a privilege for the prophet. Aisha, she felt jealous, and she said, I see that your God, he rushed into your desire, Muhammad. So the God of Muhammad didn't, Muhammad, he have a desire for women, to have more women. Not the verse came first and then Muhammad he got the women. No, Muhammad he have a desire for the women. Then the verse comes, says, okay, Muhammad, take as many women as you wish. So this is why Aisha, she said, Inni ara rabbuka yusari'u ila hawaka ya Muhammad. I see that your God he rushed into your desire, Muhammad. And she was talking about what desire? His sexual desire. So here we have a very clear evidence that even Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, she noticed that Quran is made up to the size of Muhammad. The word of God is not because it is right to do this or not. It's because Muhammad he have a desire. So when Muhammad have a desire to do muta, people do muta. Muhammad he found that people are talking about him. They say, what kind of a prophet he allowed women to rent themselves for money? Then he changed his mind. And let me ask you, my friend, what is muta? Isn't it illegal prostitution? Go ahead.
You said that Sharia al-Islam, law of Islam, came, rule of Islam is came step by step. It is true, step by step. Then he said in Muslim about mut'ah, O people, I had permitted you to contract temporary marriage with women, but Allah has forbidden it now until the day of resurrection. So he who has any woman with his tape of marriage contract, he should let her off and don't take back anything you have given to them as a door. This what the Prophet said about mut'ah. Then mut'ah don't allow, as the Prophet said, as the day of resurrection. Now الأجرة أو meaning of الأجرة in يعني فآتوهن أجورهن is recompense, not fair or rent or wage. No. You thought that الأجرة it is mean fair or rent or wage. No, it is wrong. God said in the Quran, فَبَشِّرْهُ بِمَغْفِرَةٍ وَأَجْرٍ كَرِيمٍ. Arabic people saying أَجَرَكَ اللَّهِ يعني أثابك. Not it is fair, not it is rent, not it is wage. So when Omar ibn al-Khattab said, when he was Khalifat al-Muslimin, said, "Oh people, truly Prophet Muhammad allow mut'ah, then forbid it for us." This is about mut'ah. This was in the ancient time before Islam. And when Islam came, he forbid this as he forbid wine and other thing. He is take people step by step because people wasn't know a lot about God. then he forbid it, as I read to you, all people, I had permitted to you to contract temporary marriage with woman, but Allah has forbidden it now until the day of resurrection. So who has any woman with this type of marriage contract, he should let her off and don't take back anything you have given to them. This is about mut'a in Islam. My cures.
All right. You see, Sheikh, the problem is I don't know. When you say to me, I speak Arabic and you speak Arabic, but look like we are speaking about different Arabic. You give me an example saying that Allah, He says that Allah will give reward, ujur, but this is a reward in the heaven that to go in heaven. We are talking about here getting the woman money. You see, if like if the word ujur in the Quran, when it speak about women, is not about paying them money, then you can give me example about Allah will give you reward and Allah will reward you for the good deeds you do. But this is not the case. We are talking about payment, money, jewelries. We are not talking about a reward of God in heaven. So this is totally different story. I look like he dropped. Okay, we will call him back. He's offline. We will wait for him to come back. All right, guys, do you see with me in the screen? He said this is not rented women. Do you see it? This is Islamic website. This is al-islam.org. It says in some work special term is applied to women who participate in muta, mustajara, or rented women. Do you see it? Muta is considered a kind of rental. I will wait for him to come back, so I will call him. I hope you guys are enjoying your time. Don't forget, please, if you like to read and learn more about Islam, my new book, Allah and Sex, the same topic we are talking about, is already in Amazon.com. You can just go and search for Christian Prince. You do not need to type the name of the book. Search for Christian Prince books, and you will find the list. I have 9 books there already, and you pick up the book you like to read. I hope the Sheikh Rohi, who have a PhD in Islam, he will be back with us immediately, and we will continue. And as you see, I'm doing my best to be nice and friendly and correcting the Muslims about their belief. It's not my fault that if Muslims, they have no idea what they are talking about. It's not my fault that it doesn't matter how big you are. You see, this is all I say. Debating as scholars is a lot easier than debating Muslim kids. A Muslim kid, he can play games as much as he wish. Like, you know, like the kid yesterday, he was talking to me. You lose your voice repeating the same thing. When you speak to somebody, he have a PhD, he knew exactly what I'm talking. You see, he did not say to me Al-Qurtubi is lying. No, he said yes, they say that. He did not say to me Asbab al-Nuzul, it doesn't say that. He said yes, they say that, but he don't agree with them. He didn't say, you remember last time he said the hadith is weak last week, the one about the prophet will forget. Now he said this, it is not weak. He agree, but he don't agree with it. See how he changed his position? No problem. You can change your position as much as you wish. Still you are giving me no answer. Still he is offline. I'm waiting for him. Please invite your friends, and I hope we will have Sheikh Rohi back. Sheikh Rohi is a person who has a PhD from Al-Azhar University. It is the highest school in about Islam in the world. It's the top school, and as you see, Al-Azhar University give no answer. Is not a qualified. Nobody can give a, not because he is not good educated, no, but because this is a religion. It's made of you know, collection. It's like a junkyard. You know, every piece is coming from somewhere. And you know, you want to make a recycle. I believe in recycling, no problem, but recycle will stay recycled. Don't tell me this is coming from God. It does not come in any way, in any proof from God. I hope you will be back soon. If you are a person who speak German or French or Dutch, go and get my books from Amazon.com, and I hope people, they really enjoy reading our books, and they will learn a lot of from it. You see, there's a difference between somebody study Islam and somebody he think what he studies. I got a degree in Islam. I don't claim to be a PhD holder, but who care about the PhD? My knowledge about Islam is a lot more higher than those who have a PhD. PhD is not about education, it's about a degree. And in Islamic university, you have to agree with the professor to get your PhD, which means there's no real research and there's no real study, because real research will lead us to leave Islam, and they will never get you the PhD, because you, in order to get the PhD, you have to tell them what they said to you, what the teacher said to you. It's kind of hypocrisy. There's no degree. I have to repeat what the teacher said to me. Dr. Rohi is back. I will call him back. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Yes,
I hear you.
yes, Dr. Rohi. Welcome back. I was going to give you the answer. I hope you will hear me good now. Are we okay?
Yes,
All
yes,
right,
I know.
my friend,
Okay.
you were saying to me that ujur, the word ujur is a reward, and you gave me an example from the Quran where Allah, he will reward you for doing the good deeds. But this is not the case here. This is about you pay money. So the word ujur here have a different meaning. You see, when I say may the Lord bless you, this is ujur. This is reward. Bless you. Blessing from God is a reward, but this is not money. But here we are talking about a woman. She gave her body, and in return you pay her money. The muta, which you call it marriage, is not an act of relationship, not for the purpose of money and sex. It's made for two purposes: sex and money, nothing else. No family, no children's, no divorce even, which means you don't even divorce the women. When the time is up, she go home, because simply it's not a marriage. But you Muslims, you call it marriage to cover up that this is nothing but a rental contract. And this is the Islam or .org, Islamic Sunni website. They are saying, and I read for you, I quote for you what they are saying, not me. It says, in some work special term is applied to women who participate in the muta, mustajara, or rented women. Muta is considered as a kind of rental because in general a man basic aim is the kind of marriage is sexual enjoyment of the women, and in return of this enjoyment the women receive certain amount of money or property. So this is nothing but a sex exchange, money for sex. Same time you said that your prophet said that Allah, he allow muta, and I and Allah forbid mut'ah. Like he been informed, your prophet said, he been informed that Allah, he forbid mut'ah until the judgment day. Where the prophet he receive a verse saying Allah, he forbid mut'ah? We have the verse, chapter 4, verse 24, Allah saying do mut'ah. Where the verse in the Quran it says don't do mut'ah? You cannot find it. So how Muhammad he claimed that he received an order from Allah to demolish the mut'ah practice when he never did? And this is exactly what we were talking about in the book of Asbab al-Nuzul. The people, they were saying to Muhammad, this man, he fabricated the verses just to solve a problem, and here we go, he created a problem for himself. He said that you can do mut'ah. People, they start talking, saying, what kind of a prophet he allowed such a thing? This is nothing but prostitution. It is exactly prostitution. So in order to solve this problem, Muhammad, he come with a new rule saying, okay, you know what, I forbid you to do mut'ah from now until judgment day. But it's not Allah who said that. And the verse we spoke about before, chapter 2 in the Quran, verse 106, it says clearly that the one who will abrogate the Quran is Allah, not Muhammad. Which means nothing will be abrogated except by Quran. Quran should abrogate the Quran. But you Muslim Sunni, you believe that no, Hadith can abrogate Quran. How in the world Hadith can abrogate the word of God? How a prophet can demolish the word of God, which is preserved supposedly? And this is why the chapter 2 verse 106 is exist to solve a problem. So Muhammad, to explain to the people why he kept changing his mind, And why sometimes he come with rules without a verse? If we check out, do the mut'a came before, which means as a practice by Muhammad and his followers, or after the verse received? You will see that the verse came after. So how in the world this person is practicing it without the verse, which means Allah did not tell him yet? You see, if I am practicing something, I am claiming that God told me that, then I have to provide the verses. Hey guys, I received this law. This law says we can do mut'a. We can go right now and rent some women for sex. But always Muhammad, he come with something, and then people they start talking about it. So he support what he say by making Quran, and then everybody have to shut up because it's Allah. Allah said what I can do. If Allah said so, Allah said so. That's it. So what you said to me have nothing to do with the problem. The problem is how Muhammad apply prostitution to be part of his religion. How Muhammad claimed that his God said to him, you can rent women in return of money, sex for money. How then Muhammad he can demolish what he just said, claiming it's coming from his God without receiving a verse from his God? Can you find me a verse in the Quran says don't do mut'a no more? Sheikh Rohi, the mic is yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What Allah, I said, and Allah not allowed mut'a, but mut'a was before Islam. Then Islam forbid this step by step. But why all interpreter said is not about mut'a? This verse not about mut'a. So give me one interpreter he said that verse about mut'a. All interpreters said it is not about mut'a. If this verse about mut'a, why all interpreters said it is not about mut'a? And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is in what I read to you. I had permitted you to contract mut'a with, but Allah has forbidden it. How Allah was forbidden it? In Quran. How Allah forbid it? Not in Hadith, in Quran.
Where?
Because Muhammad said Allah has forbidden it now until the day of resurrection.
Where is the verse?
Is it clear?
Where is the verse in the Quran which says mut'a is not allowed no more? Where?
So where is the verse in Quran that allowed mut'a? It is not allowed. Give me one interpreter said it is in Sunnah, not in Shia.
No
It
problem.
is this verse allowed mut'a.
Well, here we go. Tafsir al-Miqbas of Ibn Abbas. It says that this is mut'a, zawaj al-mut'a, and I can give you a ton of them. I mean, it's really strange you are saying to me, give me one person saying that when all of them they agree that this is about mut'a. Actually, can you give me one did not say this is about zawaj al-mut'a? I'm really I'm amazed of you saying that. Here we go. This is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan, and this is a Muslim Sunni book. This is not a Shia, and this is a chapter 24, verse number chapter 4, verse number 24. It says the following. I'm going to read for you. It says, and it is also said, it means that you seek with your money marrying women for agreed period of time, zawajul muta, but the lawfulness of this practice was later abrogated. This is Sunni opinion. This is not a Shia, and this is Quran, and this is the interpretation of the Quran. So it's very nice try of you, Sheikh Rohi, to say that this is not in the Quran when all the story is coming from the Quran. And you know, can you give me the scholar who you agree with where he said that this is the muta, the Sunni scholar who say that muta does not exist in the Quran? Who is the scholar who said that to you? Where do you get this from? It's very strange, my friend. It's very strange. It's very strange what you just said, because you Muslim Sunni agreeing that the muta is a practice coming from the Quran, but what you don't agree with that the Shia they practice that until now, but all of you agree about it. So how you say to me that, oh, the Shia, we don't have this in the Quran. We don't have it in the Quran. Where do you get this from? This is in the Quran. You enjoy them by paying them wages, and if we go and see the interpretation of the Muslim Sunni, not the Shia, you will find that they agree. What do you say? If we go to Al-Qurtubi as an example, if we go to Al-Qurtubi, you want to show you Al-Qurtubi? Let me show you Al-Qurtubi in the screen. All right. Because you said to me, where is in the Quran? And the interpreter, they never said that. I mean, this is really weird you to say that to me. You can say that to somebody who have no idea what Islam is about, not to me. This is Al-Jami' li Ahkam al-Quran, Tafsir Al-Qurtubi. All right. You can read with me in the screen, please. All right. It says the following. Let us go and read.
You can return to book Al-Alusi said it is not about Mut'ah. Al-Qurtubi, he said a lot of opinion of scholars that was in his time.
Okay. So Al-Alusi, he said it is not Mut'ah.
Yes. Yes, Al-Alusi, it is.
Okay, so the Al-Alusi is better than Al-Qurtubi. He is higher as a scholar.
No, not. We don't prefer one interpreter than one.
Yeah, but the majority, my friend, the majority of the Muslim Sunni, they agree with Al-Qurtubi. You bring me one, I bring you 10. You know what I mean? Because if you bring me one saying it is not about Al-Mut'ah, then you have to deal with the rest of them. So, and you Muslims agreeing that we have to go by the majority, not the minority. If the majority of the scholar they say something, then we have to go with it. Right? So in Al-Qurtubi, he gave you opinion that some they say this, some they say that, but he agree that Al-Mut'ah, and I quote for him, he says, وقال الجمهور, the majority, قال الجمهور المراد نكاح المتعة الذي كان في صدر الإسلام. What is meant by this verse, the mut'ah, the if of the mut'ah, which was in the beginning of Islam. And هناك من قرأها بإضافة إلى أجل مسمى. Some of them even they add verses or words to the Quran which is not exist in the Quran today. إلى أجل مسمى. حتى إن ابن عباس حلف أنها نزلت كذلك. Even Ibn Abbas, he swear that Allah, he sent the mut'ah not the way it's written right now in the Quran. He said that it came pay them their wages until أجل مسمى, until it is a preset time. This is Ibn Abbas. So what we will do with Ibn Abbas, are we going to take Al-Alusi or Ibn Abbas? And the statement of Ibn Abbas is very accurate. When Ibn Abbas, he said إلى أجل مسمى, that's mean until a fixed period of time. That is absolutely the mut'ah. So you bring me a scholar, I can bring you 1,000. And let me tell you what's happening, Sheikh Rohi. Today, because this is a very, very bad reputation for Islam. So what we do as Muslim, we say, oh, we don't have mut'ah, this is Shia, But you just said, everybody heard you. Your prophet said that Allah allow mut'ah. And Allah today forbid mut'ah. So it must be Allah who allowed the mut'ah. Where we can find Allah allowed the mut'ah? Shouldn't you find me first where Allah he allowed the mut'ah, and then you can find me where Allah guys, sometimes I try to understand the logic. If I just say to you, Jesus allow me, and then Jesus forbid me, you will ask me where Jesus allow you and where Jesus forbid you. Okay, I am asking Mr. Rohi, as long he mentioned to us that his prophet said that Allah allow the mut'ah, and Allah forbid the mut'ah. Can you show me where Allah he allowed the mut'ah and where Allah forbid the mut'ah? And the Quran, all of it is in front of you. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Thank you. My friend, if the majority of Muslims take Al-Qurtubi in this verse, why they forbid mut'ah? I don't agree with Al-Qurtubi in this verse. I don't agree. I agree with. So Qurtubi tell a lot of opinion about interpretation. But one of the interpretation al-Alusi Sunni, he is forbid mut'a and said that's not about mut'a. So all Muslims, majority now of Muslims, well, no, not majority, all Muslims, Sunni, don't take mut'a, don't practice mut'a. Only Shia practice mut'a. يعني it is not a problem. This verse not talk about mut'a. I see that. If the Qurtubi, as you said this is one few of scholars said it is about mut'a, I don't agree with Qurtubi in that, because other interpretation is forbid and said it is not about mut'a. This is what can I say in this verse.
All right, my friend. You see, you gave me an answer saying, well, if the majority of the scholars agree that this is verse about muta, how come the scholars agree not to forbid the muta? My friend, you just answer yourself, because they agree to forbid the muta just because your prophet says so. I mean, they can they not to agree? If your prophet says so, they have to agree. They are not disagreement if it's forbidden or not. They are in agreement, all of them, all the Sunni, they're in agreement. So they are in agreement because your prophet says so. As simple as that. It's not because it's right or wrong. The prophet, he forbid, we forbid. The prophet, he allow, we allow. As simple as that. But this has nothing to do with the proof. The proof is that the majority of the scholars of Islam, they say that this is the muta. And why the scholars, the majority, they say the scholar, they say this is the muta, because this is how it is. If we go right now and we take the interpretation of the Muslim scholars one by one, you see, I have in front of me a long list of scholars. We can take one by one, and you will see that all of them, they come with one conclusion, that this is a verse about the muta. And as long I ask you a question, I'm waiting for you to answer it until now. You said Allah allowed the muta. Your prophet said Allah allowed the muta. And your prophet said, and now Allah forbid the muta. Can you show me how Allah allowed the muta? Where is the verse? And where Allah forbid the muta, I want to see the verse. Because if Allah is the one who told Muhammad to allow the muta, it's mean he gave him a verse. If Allah is the one who, he forbid them to do muta anymore after he allowed it in the beginning, then you have to give me a verse. So can you provide me where is the reference where Muhammad, he received that Allah allow him to do muta? And where is the reference where Allah now he forbid Muslims to do muta anymore? Can you? I'm listening.
Yes, you said that Ibn Abbas allowed muta in al-Qurtubi, but Ibn Abbas said muta was in the beginning of Islam. Then when Allah said إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم, he said every one except this is forbid. Husband except husband. So Ibn Abbas said Mut'a was in the beginning of Islam. Then Allah forbid all this. Islam not not give Mut'a to people, but it is before Islam. And Islam, when came Islam, is forbid this marriage. This is what I can said in this.
Okay, my friend. This is Tafsir al-Lusi, and I did not mention it to right away because I was waiting for you to insist. You insisted that al-Lusi, he said this is not about muta, but the fact that al-Lusi, he says the opposite. It's in the front of me. It says in the front of me, وقيل الآية في المتع وهي النكاح إلى أجل معلوم من يوم أو أكثر. Let us translate. And it been said that this verse is about the muta, which is to do nukah for a preset time to 1 day or more. So you said to me, al-Lusi, you don't agree that this is al-Lusi says this is not muta. I told you, remember, can you give me one scholar don't agree that this is the muta? You said to me, let us read Al-Alusi. The fact that Al-Alusi confirmed it, and let us read together. وحكي عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه أنه كان يقول بحلها ثم رجع عن ذلك. So it was said that Ibn Abbas said that it used to be allowed, and then he changed his mind about it. رجع, you know, he retreated from that order, and then he said that a man who is lost, which means he lost his way, God said to Muhammad, إنك رجل تائه. قال علي كرم الله وجهه إنك رجل تائه إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن المتعة. So he's telling a guy, you are lost, man. The Prophet, he forbid the muta. And he continued then, you know, saying exactly the same as Al-Qurtubi. And just to correct you about what you said Ibn Abbas said that the mut'a was in the beginning of Islam. Ibn Abbas did not say that exactly, my friend. Ibn Abbas said that it was in the beginning of Islam, and he added that there is three words actually, is taken off from the Quran. Ibn Abbas said, let me read for you in Arabic so you remember. حتى إن ابن عباس حلف أنها نزلت كذلك حيث قال والله لأنزلها الله كذلك. What أنزلها الله كذلك? قال إلى أجل مسمى. So which mean you pay them their wages, those who you do mut'a with them, and you pay them their mut'a with them لأجل مسمى, until the preset time. So Ibn Abbas claimed that your Quran today is a fabricated Quran, because today it's not what Allah he said, and he swear by Allah, saying I swear by God, I swear by Allah that this is how the verse came down, إلى أجل مسمى. And now Al-Alusi disagree with you, and you are the one who asked me to read from Al-Alusi, but Al-Alusi agree totally with me. Let's read Al-Alusi saying, Al-Alusi said وما رواه الترمذي والبيهقي والطبراني عنه أنه قال إنما كانت المتعة في أول الإسلام كان الرجل يقدم البلدة ليس بها معرفة etc. So he go and sleep with the women etc. And he confirmed that this is a verse about the mut'a. Then he continue, he says he's saying that the mut'a became so popular after Muhammad, he allowed it, became so popular. It says and what it says about Allah Messenger, he allowed the mut'a, and Abu Bakr and Umar, they forbid from doing it. That is returned because of the abrogation. It was not in the abrogation language, and Umar he forbid people from practicing that, or let us say to announce it, until the mut'a became so popular. ممن لم يبلغه النهي عنها, for those who did not hear that mut'a should be forbidden right now. So Muslims, they still practice mut'a even after Muhammad died. Why? The claim is that some of the Muslims did not hear the Prophet saying that the mut'a is forbidden. So my friend, the scholar you mentioned to me agree with me, Al-Qurtubi agree with me, Al-Tabari agree with me, Ibn Kathir agree with me, all your scholars agree with me. Who agree with you? Nobody. Same time, you said mut'a was before Islam, but you said Allah, Muhammad, he said Allah allow mut'a. Are you saying Allah allow mut'a before Islam? He gave it to who? Who is the prophet for the Arab? Who is the prophet who told the Arab you can practice mut'a? When you say to me something, you have to give me a reason and a proof, not just a statement. I want to hear from you, Sheikh Rohi, an authentic proof that Muhammad, when he said Allah allowed the mut'a, he did not mean the Quran, and when he say Allah forbid the mut'a, he mean the Quran. Where is that we can be found? Your mic.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. We are waiting for the answer, please.
Okay. In Tafsir al-Alusi, what he said, حكي عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أنه كان يقول بحل المتعة it is told about Ibn Abbas that he said allowed متعة. ثم رجع عن ذلك, then return in this opinion حين قال له علي, when Ali said to him إنك رجل تائه. إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن المتعة. هكذا Ali said that Prophet Muhammad forbid متعة. والقول بأن الآية نزلت في المتعة غلط. هذا this is in تفسير الألوسي, and the saying is verse about متعة is wrong.
He used the word غلط.
yes غلط. والقول بأن الآية نزلت في المتعة غلط. هكذا بنفس النص in the same statement. والقول بأن الآية نزلت في المتعة غلط, وتفسير البعض لها بذلك غير مقبول, لأن نظم القرآن يأباه, حيث بين سبحانه أولا المحرمات, ثم قال وأحل لكم ما وراء ذلكم أن تبتغوا بأموالكم محصنين غير مسافحين, وفيه إشارة إلى النهي عن قصد مجرد قضاء الشهوة وصب الماء واستفراغ أوعية المني, فبطلت المتعة بهذا القيد, لأن مقصود المتمتع ليس إلا ذاك دون التأهل والاستداد إلى آخره. ثم قال ثم لما فرغ سبحانه من الكلام عن النكاح قال فما استمتعتم به, وهو يدل على أن المراد بالاستمتاع هو الوطء والدخول بقصد الزواج, لا الاستمتاع بمعنى المتعة التي يقول بها الشيعة, والقراءة التي ينقلونها عمن تقدم من الصحابة شاذة. هكذا قال الألوسي, وهو
okay, what is the verse, Sheikh Rohi? What is the verse about that you can, because you said the Prophet said Allah allowed the mut'ah. Where Muhammad he got that Allah allowed the mut'ah from? Where allowed? If this is not a verse about the mut'ah, so where Muhammad he got the mut'ah from? Because you are the one who said Allah allowed the mut'ah, not the pagans, right? Aren't you the one who said Allah, the Prophet said Allah allowed the mut'ah? Okay, can you show me the verse on the Quran where Allah allowed the mut'ah to Muhammad?
But Allah didn't allowed the mut'ah. This is not allowed the mut'ah. This verse.
No. I'm not talking about this verse.
Do you understand?
Friend, let me explain to you. You said that the Prophet said Allah allowed the mut'ah, and today Allah forbid the mut'ah. Okay, so who is allowed the mut'ah? Allah. Who is the one who forbid the mut'ah? Allah. Can you show me the verse where Muhammad saying that Allah allowed the mut'ah? Because if I say Allah allowed the mut'ah, I have to show a verse. Where is the verse from Allah to Muhammad says, okay, do mut'ah? As long as this is not the verse which is about mut'ah, which is most of Muslim scholars, even Ibn Abbas confirm that the verse used to have a sentence says ila ajri musamma, until a certain period of time, which means it's confirming the mut'ah, because it's what mut'ah about preset timing. So Ibn Abbas confirmed that there's word is missing from the Quran, and then you confirm that the Prophet said Allah allowed the mut'ah and Allah forbid the mut'ah. Where we can find the reference of Allah allowing the mut'ah, additional to the hadith you mentioned? Can we find the verse in the Quran for Allah allowing the mut'ah?
It is saying from Ibn Abbas. I see it is wrong saying. Why? Because hadith Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam not said that, but said Allah has forbidden it, not allowed. Allah has forbidden it now until the day of resurrection, but not say Allah allowed. If Ibn Abbas said that, it is wrong about Ibn Abbas. I see this.
So did your Prophet allow the mut'ah? Let's make it simple. Did the Prophet allow the mut'ah, yes or no?
Yes, okay. In the beginning of Islam.
Correct. Yes. Okay, so then let us go step by step. You just say that Allah did not allow the mut'ah. How the Prophet allowed the mut'ah? If Allah did not allow the mut'ah, you said Allah forbid the mut'ah, and your Prophet he allowed the mut'ah, and you are saying that the allowedness of mut'ah was not according to the Quran. How in the world your Prophet he allow such a thing? Go ahead.
He not allowed, but he give permit for the one of companions when this ask him to allowed the muta in the one of the war. I permit you to contract temporary marriage with women. This is what Prophet said to companion.
All right.
Then said Allah has forbidden it.
So Allah, okay, just to concentrate with you, the Prophet, you just said, the Prophet, he allow a guy to go and rent a woman for sex, and then Allah forbid that. All right. If this was a practice before the Prophet, do Muhammad need to allow it? Because people obviously they used to practice it. The fact we cannot find anything in the pre-era of Islam, people doing mut'ah, they do different kind of relationship. There is prostitution, yes, there is, you know, there's exchange of wives, yes, there's many ways, but that's not mut'ah. This is prostitution simply. There's nothing called mut'ah. If you go and check all the names of before Islam, you will not find one of them is called mut'ah. Mut'ah is a statement created by Muhammad and his followers. And now, as long you are the one who said, and everybody heard you, that the Prophet he gave a permission to someone to do mut'ah. And what is mut'ah? Is to pay a woman for sex. Muhammad he gave the permission according to what? Because as you said, he permitted, which means he can say no. If a man is coming to me and saying to me, can I go and do and that, it's mean people they are obedience. Or what I need to say to him, no, don't do that. The story I mentioned to you, and I can show you the reference, where two guys they told the Prophet that we are here alone and we need women. So when the Prophet he said, go enjoy those women and give them exchange. The two men right away they went to the women and they asked him to sleep with them in return of giving them some clothes and money. So you're a prophet, based on what you just said to me, he can say, don't do that, this is haram, this is unlawful, this is bad, this is prostitution. Your prophet did not do that. In the top of that, he gave them permission to do that. And you to make it more horrible, Dr. Rohi, you just said that your prophet is behaving according to his own mind, his decision. So how you Muslim says, وَمَا هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَى, anything the prophet he do is inspiration from God. Anything, this is why you follow him as a sunnah. Muhammad he practiced nothing about religion but from God. So was Muhammad here wrong? Are you willing to say to me that your prophet was teaching an evil teaching, telling women and men, Muslim women and Muslim men, to go and rent each other for sex, get sex for money? This is the teaching of your prophet in the beginning of Islam. Go ahead.
My friend, Muhammad not created mut'a not created by Prophet Muhammad, but it was before Islam. But he gave permission to this marriage when one of companions asked him to give permission, then forbidden this. So mut'a was in the society of Islam, and so Muhammad forbidden this. This is what I see.
He allow it, my friend? How he allow it if it is something the pagan they practice? I mean, should you allow it or you should go against it? I mean, how you allow something is bad? This is do you agree, Sheikh Rohi, with me that this is bad to practice? Do you agree with me that this is not a moral thing? Or you have no problem with it? That a woman she go and she rent herself for a man so he can sleep with her. Do you agree with that?
No.
Didn't agree. It is bad.
No, look, my friend. It يعني now in this يعني debate, I said my opinion, and you said your opinion.
No
Then
problem.
we must give the
Okay, no problem. I will finish
argument
this. I will
to
finish
who
this. A hadith. I will finish this as long as you want to, you said your opinion.
what?
That Ibn Abbas said, قال إنما
Sorry,
كانت
I don't
المتعة.
understand.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. ابن عباس said قال إنما كانت المتعة في أول الإسلام كان الرجل يقدم البلدة ليس لها بها معرفة فيتزوج المرأة بقدر ما يرى أو ما يرى إنه يقيم فتحفظ له متاعه وتصلح له شيئه حتى إذا نزلت الآية. All right. So Ibn Abbas confirmed that this is a verse about the mut'ah. The man, he come to a town and he just hire a woman to take care of him. This is what the mut'ah is about, to take care of him, to have sex with him, etc. Now we you know, you said what you said and I said what I said, and people, they will make a judgment about that. Sheikh Rohi, I'm going to give you the mic back, and I want to tell you, if there is something you would like me to ask you about Islam and I did not ask
Okay.
you, if there is something you'd like me to ask you about Islam and maybe I missed something you like, something you are proud about as a Muslim. You like the Christians, because most of the people they are listening right now, we have about 400 people listening. They are Christians and maybe some atheists and Hindus, Buddhists, I don't know. So if there is something you as a Muslim you want to say to those people, maybe you can convert them to Islam, something really solid. What is the best of Islam to make somebody convert to Islam?
What this
We don't hear you, Sheikh Rohi. Are you there?
thing not about mut'ah.
No, we are done
What?
with the mut'ah. You said they don't want to talk about the mut'ah. No problem. Let us go continue. So what is something, give us something you as a Muslim proud about, and maybe that thing will make the mind of people to convert to Islam. I have more than 400 people listening to you. How you can convince them that Islam is from God? What is the proof? Here we go. We spoke about your prophet. We spoke about things, you know, obviously there are tons of contradiction, and until now you convince nobody that Islam is coming from God, because Muhammad is saying something in the morning, he changed his mind after noon. He gave a verse in the Quran contradicting other verse in the Quran. Allah, he want to forget cause the Quran to be forgotten, and he will make something better than the Quran. God does not make better words from his word, because all the words of God is equal. So until now you proved to us nothing that Islam is from God. Now I want to give you a chance. We don't want to waste this opportunity to give you a chance. How you can convince us with the best of the most powerful proof you have that Islam is from the true God, which his name is Allah, according to Muslims. Go ahead.
My friend, one of the greatest attributes of the Islam, of the Quran, than others books, that he focus on Lord of the worlds, Lord of the universe, or Lord of the all beings. This idea not be clear before the Quran. People's perception about God before the Quran was limited, because the past religion was belonged to prophets folk. So we found that Pharaoh, as example, was astonished and said to Moses in Quran, "What's the Lord of the worlds?" And in Torah we are reading, "Pleased be to the Lord God of Israel, not God of the world." And he said, "Pleased be to the Lord God of Israel, which speak to David." But the Quran changed this conception completely. So the Quran was opened by his saying in chapter 1, "Praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds." Then this idea confused the disbelievers. So they said in Quran, has he made the gods only one God? Truly, this is a wonderful thing. And Moses also always said, God of Israel said so and so. Also, Jesus said, I am not sent by unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Mhm.
But contrary to this, we find Quran for the first time of mankind's history. Present theory says that God is Lord of all people and folks, and the Prophet Muhammad said that he was sent to all humanity. Contrary to Moses, who was sent to people of Israel, contrary to Jesus, he was sent to his folk only. So we find Jesus when one woman came to him and she was not from people of Israel,
Mm.
she said to him, Sir, give me from the truth that you came with it to people of Israel. He replied her, it is not good that it is not good that I take children's bread and throw it to the dogs. It means that he considers the people of Israel only children of God and considers other people like the dogs. But
Mhm.
contrary of this, when some people not from
Mm.
Arab came to the Prophet Muhammad, like Persian Sulaiman or like Greek Sohaib, when they came to Prophet Muhammad, didn't say to them, it is not good to take children's bread and throw it to the dogs, but he not separate between them and between the Arabs. Quran say, "O people, we created you from a male and females and made you races and tribes that you may know one another.
Mm.
The best among you in the sight of God is the most righteous. Surely Allah is knowing, aware." This is what I say in last topic.
All right. Well, my friend,
Uh,
you see, when we Christians, when we speak about Islam, I don't go and mention to you interpretation of the Quran according to me. If you notice everything I say Al-Tabari said, Al-Qurtubi said, Ibn Abbas said. I don't say I say. What you did now, you just said what you say, that Jesus said to the women, you are a dog. This is not what Jesus said. Jesus, he blessed her and he did a miracle for her. He did bless her. He accepted her as a believer. What Jesus was saying, that you people, you know, and you say that the Jews, they say that everyone else is a dog. He is a pagan. He is like a dog. And it's very funny that you are mentioning that Islam does not say what the Jews they claim, which Jesus does not agree with them, when the Quran says that all non-Muslims are animals. They are the same as animal, kal an'am. Actually, there's a chapter about it, huh? Speaking about it, and you are saying how this happened when you are in your book saying anyone is not a Muslim is nothing but an animal. And not only that, your God, he taught people that anyone is not a Muslim is not only an animal, he is a najis, he is filthy, he is dirty. You will notice that Jesus, he did help that woman and he made the miracle happen to her and he blessed her faith and he accepted her as a follower and as a believer. He did not say to her, get away from me, I only came to the Jews. And actually this is refute what you just said, because if he only came to the Jews, then why he accepted her and why he did what she want? The Messiah, he was asking her, don't you know that the Jews say that this is what it's happened? So she said, Lord, look how humble she is. Well, even the dogs, they take a piece of a bread from their masters. You are my master. And here you need to explain to me why the woman is coming to Jesus asking him when she is from the Aramaic who don't believe in the same God. So what Jesus said to her, because of your faith, I will do what you want, and he did the miracle for her. In the same time, when the Quran claim that anyone is not a Muslim is an animal, and anyone who is not an Arab, he is not equal to the Arab. And I will give you a reference, as long as you are the one who mentioned that. You know, isn't it your prophet? He said that Allah created from the shoulder of Adam, the right shoulder of Adam, the white, and he said, "Go to heaven, wala ubali, go to paradise, and I don't care." And is your prophet who said that Allah he hit Adam in his left shoulder, and he created the black people, and he said, "Go to hell, and I don't care"? Isn't it your prophet in the Quran? He says, in the day where Allah will make faces black and faces white. And if we go to Ibn Kathir, we will find that that verse is speaking about Allah will blacken all the faces of those who they are not Muslims, and he will turn them black, and Allah will make all the believers white. If you go to chapter 27 verse number 82, you will find the verse saying the following, and you can open Ibn Kathir with me. It says that Allah will send a beast, his name is a Jassasa, and a Jassasa is going to carry the staff of Moses and the ring of Solomon, and is going to hit the person in his face with the ring of Solomon, and he will turn to be white, and is going to hit the person in his face with the staff of Moses, and he will turn to be, sorry, with the ring of Solomon he will be black, and the staff of Musa will turn white, until he became all of him black. The spot will spread, and then the believers, they sit with the disbeliever and they say, "Oh believer, oh disbeliever." So my friend, this is a teaching in Islam of discrimination. Everybody in Islam who is not a believer, Allah will make him black. Jesus said, "Go and teach and preach the whole world, baptize them in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit." So Jesus did not come to the children of Israel only. This is absolutely not true, and the proof is the following. If we go in the Quran, you see, I'm going to show you from the Quran. If we go in the Quran, we will find that the Quran using the word which is Injil. How Jesus book is called Injil if he is coming to teach the Hebrew from your Quran? There's one of two solutions. Either your prophet is copying the name from the Greek, which is one of the original books of Jesus, which means written in original copy in the Greek language. And the funny, your God did not choose any Hebrew word for the book. He chose the Greek one, which means Allah agree that the word which, or the book of Jesus, which is sent, it was in a Greek language. However, and this is we can find in chapter 3 verse number 33. But if we go in the Quran confirm that we never send any messenger. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ. Chapter 14 verse number 4. We never send a messenger except in the tongue of his own people. So how the book is sent in a Greek language, and this is why the name is Injil, but yet the Quran says we never send a messenger except in the tongue of his people. And how you say to me that Muhammad was sent to all mankind, and the Quran says we never send a messenger unless he speak the tongue of his own people? Do the Kurdish speak Arabic? Do the Pakistani speak Arabic? Do the Indian speak Arabic? Do the British speak Arabic? It says it clearly. We never sent. And this is a statement said in the time of Muhammad, not before, not after. It was mentioned and said to Muhammad, we never send a messenger except in the tongue of his people. What is the purpose? In the language of his own people, in order to make things clear to them so they might understand. So the Quran confirmed that there is no way Allah will send a messenger to a people who don't speak the language, because if he do so, they will not understand. So how you say to me Muhammad is a messenger for all mankind, when the Quran confirmed contradiction, that Muhammad cannot be a messenger for all mankind because the people will not understand him? You see, this is why I say Islam is a collection of contradiction. They try to explain our book to us. When we show them what the verses in the Quran saying and the interpretation of the verse saying, they deny it and they say, oh, I don't agree with the scholar. Now let me ask you, Mr. Rohi, the verse in front of us, we never sent a messenger except, is Muhammad included in this verse, or he is not included? This is the verse speaking about Muhammad as an included person, that Allah will never send any message except to a messenger. He speak the language of the people, and he is from the people, and then we send him the message. Your mind.
My friend, it is not true. let this next debate. Okay, now I must go. It is late for me. I will sleep little before sahur.
No problem.
So you can make another debate to
N
discuss
Next
another.
Saturday, if you want, if you like, next Saturday, every Saturday we can have you here. It will be wonderful to have you, Sheikh Rohi. Thank you very much for coming, my friend. And
Thank you.
I hope people will have the benefit of this. And by the way, you see, me and Sheikh Rohi, we might like speak and we are talking against each other, but there's no, I leave him with peace, and I pray that may the Lord open his eyes and make him see the truth and only the truth. And let us pray that the Lord will guide those who they are looking for the truth. The truth is what we are seeking, and the Messiah said, I am the truth. And the Quran says that Allah is the truth, which means Allah trying to say He is the Messiah. But there is no way, because the Messiah, He present the truth always, and He don't ever teach that you can do something against the truth. So I wish Mr. Rohi will come to us again, maybe this coming Saturday. Can we take a promise from you to be this coming Saturday, Sheikh Rohi?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikh Rohi. If you want to say something before you leave, feel free.
Okay, inshallah.
All right.
Good night.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us. I hope you did enjoy this debate. And again, just to remind you, for those who they do not know, that my book, the new book, the last 2 volume, Quran, which is sorry, Allah 6 and Allah, is already in Amazon. If you like to get your copy, uh, get your copy, because we have a limited numbers. We have only 10 millions. Hello, so you better. What is the Muslims who say to me, we are going to buy all your books and burn it? I cannot wait for you, man. Where are they? I mean, come on, you promised me you will buy all my books and burn it. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys, as you notice, Quran is a collection of contradiction. The Prophet, what is make you proud about Islam? Islam is the religion teach us that Allah is the Lord of the world. Allah is the Lord of the world. Okay, well, let me teach you something too. Shaitan is the Lord of the world too. Who said he's not? He is the Lord of this world. The Quran, actually, I did not reach, like I was waiting, expecting him to stay, because the Quran says Rabbul Alameen. Rabbul Alameen. What does that mean? You see, the Muslim, they believe that there is 2 words. He is the Lord of the 2 words. And I was going to ask him next, what is those 2 words? Your God is the Lord of them. And then he will discover that this is exactly what Satan is about. But anyway, I hope maybe next Saturday he will come and we will have a more discussion about it. I'm not going to stay longer on air for a very simple reason. We want people to download the video. We don't want to add additional things that have nothing to do with the debate, so we make it only about the debate. So if you did not subscribe to our channel, please feel free. If you want to have more knowledge about Islam and learn how to debate Muslims and learn, because you see, learning how to debate Muslims is about learning about the cult we are talking about. You cannot debate somebody and you do not have knowledge, otherwise he can play you. As you see, this is a sheikh who have a PhD, but he will not hesitate to practice taqiyya. He said that there is nowhere in the Quran speaking that there is a muta, but he is the one who said Allah allowed the Prophet to do muta and Allah forbid the Prophet to do muta. When I ask him, are you saying that the Prophet, he was allowed by Allah to do muta, but you don't have reference for that Allah gave him? How the Prophet, are you saying the Prophet, he allow you to do muta without permission from Allah? Because if it's a permission from Allah, show me the verse. If it is not a permission, who is Muhammad to make such a thing, allowing adultery? Go and rent a woman for sex. What kind of a prophet? He is the best example of mankind. He allow man to go and rent a woman for a night or 2. What if Jesus allowed that? So we will finish with this. And please, after we finish the video, usually take like some time before it's going to be loaded, all of it. Download the video. Feel free to download my videos and post them wherever you wish. All right. I am not a person who go flag people for loading my videos. Actually, I encourage them, because the purpose is not about having subscribers for me, is about spreading knowledge. I am not here for me, I'm here for you. So I want to say thank you, guys. May the Lord bless you. And for those who have a questions, maybe later I'm going to open again. I'm not sure, if I can open my channel again, I will do so. All right. And again, please tell your friends about my new book, which is Sex and Allah. This book is 2 volumes. It's a priceless. You will learn things you never heard before. I guarantee you that. It's not just about the 72 version. We know all of this story, right? If I will make a book about the 72 versions, there's no need to make a book about it. Already all of you know that. It's not a big deal. So what we are going to show you there is things you did not hear before. Tons of things. The book is volume 1 and volume 2. Volume 1 starts speaking about sexuality before Islam. You notice that he said that mut'a was a practice before Islam. The fact you will go and read my book, it doesn't say that. I have even the quote of all the names according to Aisha herself in that book. And actually, I forgot to mention it to him and get him busted with that. But anyway, you see, when you have in your head like a library of books, and then all of them, they want to come down together. You cannot push them all together in a short time and give it to him. But too bad he had to leave. However, he did not do better than the last time. It was horrible. This is a religion, cannot stand questions. God, he made Quran better than the Quran. God, he caused Quran to be forgotten. But God, he promised that he will not forget the Quran. And Muslims, they claim that they reserve the Quran in their heart. But yet this gentleman, he just admit that his prophet was forgetting the Quran. Oh, what he said, oh, he did not forget it totally. You're right. He said, I forgot chapters and verses. And when I asked him, is it happening by the will of Allah? He said, yeah, everything by the will of Allah. So why Allah made Muhammad forget the Quran? What the purpose? If Muhammad is going to remember the Quran by seeing or hearing somebody else saying it, what and why Allah made him forget the Quran? Simply, Muhammad, he said things and then he got in trouble. And one of the funny things, this gentleman, he said to us that the books of tafsir and asbab al-nuzul, which is the reason, the book of asbab al-nuzul mean, this is the translation of the title, the reason for the verses to come down. The reason for the verses to come down. He said, those books are made to solve problems. And after 1400 years, did you Muslims solve the problems? Or you just admit that you Muslims don't agree about anything? We have a cult. The scholars of Islam do not agree even about the simple thing. How we can accept it to be a religion? The same as Muhammad, he make and fabricate Quran to solve a problem. The same as we showed you about the mut'ah. And the funny, I told him Ibn Abbas said that he added that there's a 3 words is missing from that verse, ila ajalin musamma, to a preset time, fixed time. He did not answer about that. Ibn Abbas is the cousin of Muhammad, is not just anyone walking down street. Thank you guys for being here. May the Lord bless you, and until we see you tomorrow again, I hope. Usually Sunday I don't do broadcast, but I will try. So until I see you tomorrow, may the Lord bless you all. Christ is Lord, Islam is false, and we prove it every time we debate Muslims. Thank you, and God bless. Bye-bye.